This session, we're going to be looking at some errors that Samson committed that led to his untimely death. We all know the story of Samson, and if you did not know, you can check the previous sessions about Samson. We've been checking, we've been looking at the person of Samson for some days, and we've been made to know that Samson is a Nazarite. Even before his birth, he was declared to be. And some things that are supposed to be about him was mentioned by the angel of the Lord before his conception. So he's a very powerful person, a servant of the Lord, who was set to be a judge over Philistine. And we knew in the previous story, we were told how Samson desired a woman from the land he's supposed to judge. The Philistine was the one he desired. In that passage of the Bible, Samson told his parents that, get her for me. She looks good to me. It's not a bad thing to like what is good, but be careful of what you desire. Be careful of what looks good to you. It's not everything that looks good to you that has to be yours. So what are the errors that Samson made? What could he have done better? What are the things he could have avoided? How can we learn from it in our current day, in our current time? Samson desired a woman from the Philistines. Me, and according to what the Bible says, in that first desire is not totally wrong. He said that she looks good to me, and he took the step to have what he desired. In the process, some things came up. The people that he loved did not love him because they are afraid that the love he has for their children may not be genuine. So they tricked him, and was denied of what he loved to have because they did not trust him. Someone else could have done that because they are trying to be protective. They love their own daughter, so they don't want to place their daughter into the wrong hands. They know that Samson is an Israelite. And at the long run, the whole thing can be a setup. But know that Samson's intention to the lady was not totally wrong. He has a good intention for him. But as I said earlier, that the Lord was not against his desire to marry that person. But in the other way, I think is a way of God drawing Samson closer to his assignment. But if Samson was not cheated by not letting him have that lady he desired, he may fail in his purpose for God. He was meant to judge those people. He was meant to revenge. He was meant to destroy those people. But he fell in love with part of them. And no matter how you love someone, you will love the people around that person. In the case that Samson began, let's assume that Samson succeeded in marrying the wife he desired that looks good to him. If he was not cheated, if the wife was not given to another person, because the Bible stated that the wife was given to his best man. Let's assume that lady was given to Samson. He might not fulfill his purpose because the love, and the lady is a very dangerous person. We saw how the lady came to ask question from Samson just to please his own people. And I'm not blaming the lady. His family first. Yes, those are his people. Samson is a stranger. In that scenario, Samson is a total stranger. I think being has successfully married him would have said that he betrayed Samson, but she's not yet married. So those people are still his people. So he had to defend them because they came to him that he should please save them. They came to her rather. They came to Samson's wife to be that he should please save them. They should help that she should help them get what the answer they needed from Samson because Samson gave them go and read that story. It's a very amazing story. He gave them a question to solve and they bargained on something. The wife obeyed those people and Samson was cheated. That's a very long story. I don't want to be distracted again. So Samson would have or might have failed in his assignment if he successfully married that lady, if he was not betrayed by giving the person he loved to his best man. Because from my study, I noticed that Samson is someone who is easily swayed. Samson is someone who is easily convinced, especially when he loves someone. The person can easily gain his heart. Because when when that lady came to ask the answer, he would have stood his ground that he is not going to say it. But you know how women can be. You use something like to blackmail him, and she got the answer. That was how she became another person's. Apart from the lust and disobedience in the life of Samson, he is someone who loves to please people. Yes, as someone who carries purpose, who carry an assignment, who has a mandate from God, you shouldn't seek to please people when you are, let's assume you are a military person and you are at the war front. The only person you are mindful of is your commander. So it's supposed to be. As someone who is of purpose and you have an assignment from God, the person you should seek to please at all times should be the God of heaven. You shouldn't be worried about what people say. You shouldn't be worried about people's opinion. Oh, you don't want to offend A, you don't want to offend B. No. In this process of you not wanting to offend A or B, you end up offending your father, your commander, because it's those people you are trying not to offend does not really matter as your father in heaven. If you are doing what is right in his sight, there's no way those people will not be pleased with you. Even at first, they may not agree or they may not be pleased with what you're doing. But at the long run, they will have no choice than to be pleased because you have a father and the father is pleased with you. Who can be against you if the Lord be for you? So Samson is people pleaser. Like Samson seeks favor in sight of men. Why I said so is not about the case with the first desire. Even Delilah, when he had lost and he desired to sleep with a prostitute and all those things, he seek to please Delilah, despite the fact that Delilah set him up first, second, third. Because Samson was wise, he could lie or deceive. Samson deceived Delilah at first instance, and that deception should have opened his eyes to know that this woman mean harm. He lacks discernment. He lacks self-control. Yes. As someone who is of purpose, you have to have self-control, be discerning, and be firm. You don't have to be worried about what people say. You should be concerned. That is the major lesson I want us to learn from the life of Samson. You should be concerned about what God is saying. What is the Lord saying? If I do this, what will the Lord say? Don't think of when I do this, what will my friend say? No. It's not your friend that sent you on that assignment. It is the Lord who has sent you. So you should be mindful of God first. Because of the mission Delilah was on. Delilah was on a mission to know the secret of Samson so that he will collect money. So that she will collect money from the people who have sent her. So she played her own role very well because she knows that she don't have to fail those people. But Samson, who has a greater master, failed. He was blackmailed. Something fell for emotional blackmail. Like, oh, you don't love me. That's why you don't tell me. You have to, you have to be firm. You don't have to care about what people say. You don't have to care about opinion of people. I'm not saying that you should ignore counsel. I'm not saying that you should be rude. I'm not saying that you should be disrespectful. But when you know what is right, when you know what the Lord wants you to do, you should stand by it, no matter what is happening. You should not compromise. You should not compromise at the detriment of your life. You should not compromise at the detriment of your life and purpose. Samson compromised and he lose his life and he lost his life. He died a very dangerous death. What has the Lord told you? What are the instructions given to you by God? What are the things you needed to avoid to fulfill that purpose? What are the things you needed to avoid to get to that promised land? What are those things you need to avoid to receive the word? Well done, O ye faithful servants. Don't because you want to please your friend, you want to please your wife, you want to please your husband, or you want to please your boss. You want everybody to see you as a good person, and you don't even care about your master in heaven. So you should be mindful. Don't compromise. That is one key thing I want us to learn from the errors of Samson. See you on my next session. Do well to visit the previous session and this very session. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, please. Thanks for listening. Bye.